Hello and welcome to another episode of Hessy and Maven. I'm Justin.
I'm Raven.
And this week, we had a recommendation from two of our listeners, independently of one another. Tony and Allie both gave this recommendation or suggestion for a top 5 list. Video game characters.
Yeah, this one was hard for me. I don't play as many video games as you or them probably. I pretty much toggle between Animal Crossing, Mario video games, and Pokemon.
You're a big cozy player.
Pretty much it. Yeah.
Cozy games is kind of your vibe, is what I feel.
It is my vibe. And I even I'm so picky with video games. I even have a problem with some cozy games because I'll go on TikTok and I'll look for cozy gamers and their recommendations. I bought one game that was recommended to me called Cozy Grove, where you wash up on this island and there's spirits and you have to help them solve their problems, and the whole island is in black and white, and every time you solve a problem it brings color to that part of the island. Aww. And it's really cute, but it's boring.
Yeah, it's
so slow.
Cozy games are interesting. You have to it has to hit a certain thing in your brain or scratch a certain itch. You know, because I didn't get Animal Crossing for the longest time. I was that and Stardew Valley and farming simulators in general. I was this is, at the time, I was this is fucking dumb. Yeah. I don't want to play a video game where I just walk around and do the same tasks over and over and over and over again. Yeah. Collecting fake currency to do little things, and there's just no, I don't know, didn't hit anything because I'm so used to instant gratification of shooting games and playing online. There was the longest time where the only games I really played were online shooting, Call of Duty, for example. Yeah. And that was it, because it was you could play 1 or 2 matches, and then if you wanted to keep going, you could keep going, and if you wanted to stop, you could stop, and it was no big deal, and it was just whatever.
I need a perfect balance. I like Stardew Valley, but I get bored playing it really, really fast. But then that game that I played with you and Tony, where I think it was James Bond, an old James Bond game.
Oh yeah,
that was too high stress for me. Not knowing where you guys were, I could be shot at any time. Too much. I was too anxious. I didn't like it. Yeah. But then Pokemon.
It was GoldenEye multiplayer for those listening, because Nintendo Switch has the emulator on there. So we were doing online, or not online, excuse me, but just multiplayer.
It was too much. I did not like it. Really playing that gave me war flashbacks to when you, Leanna, and Tony would force me to play Manhunt.
Oh, wow.
Which I also hated every minute of and never wanted to play because it was always outside at night and I was scared and all of you were mean. That's what it felt like. But then I like to play Pokemon and Super Mario Odyssey. Those are perfect because there's a little bit of combat, but it's not high stress. It's fun. There's cute characters. You're collecting stuff.
Yeah.
I like
power-ups,
it. It's the vibe.
Yeah. I get it. Not every style of game is for everybody, and everybody has their own vibes and stuff. For example, people love the Witcher series, the video games. Yeah, they love them. I got The Witcher 3 when it was on sale during quarantine. It was only $10 or even less or something like that. I played it for a day and a half, and I really did try. I can't stand it. I was just I'm over this, dude. I don't care about this. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Horizon Zero Dawn is the same shtick. It's that single player, I think they call it RPG, where you're a character and you have to collect things and use them to build new ammo and power-ups and potions. Skyrim? And it's Skyrim. It's Link and Zelda and stuff. It's all that shit. Those games are so hit or miss for me. I either love them or I cannot fucking stand them. Yeah. And most of the time it's the latter. But I wanted to go into this quickly with a little bit of preamble. Okay. first and foremost, I thought this was really interesting. So I found this little factoid. This is just a fun fact.
Okay.
Okay. Are you familiar with the word Nimrod?
I have heard it.
What do you think it means?
The stupid person.
Like an idiot.
A ding dong.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason that people believe that Nimrod is like a synonym for idiot is because of Bugs Bunny.
Oh.
Bugs Bunny accidentally transformed the word Nimrod into a synonym for idiot because nobody got a joke where he sarcastically compares Elmer Fudd to a character from the Bible named Nimrod, who's a mighty hunter.
Oh.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. It's like a joke nobody got.
Exactly. Here's another joke nobody got in which Bugs Bunny single-handedly changed the connotation of how we view things.
Okay.
You may have heard of this. So people are starting to realize this, and if you're in the biological community, or when I say that I mean biology, or zoological community, you may know this. Rabbits don't really like carrots. Like, they don't really eat carrots. That's like not a huge part of their diet at all.
Okay.
It doesn't give them that much nutritional value. Rabbits don't eat carrots.
Yeah.
So, but it's all stuck in our head. It's like a Mandela effect in our head of like,
because
you never see rabbits wearing glasses. Carrots are good for your eyesight and da-da-da-da and all this shit.
Okay.
Bugs Bunny was eating carrots.
Yeah.
Why was Bugs Bunny eating carrots? Was it because rabbits ate carrots? No. It was because it is a reference to a Clark Gable film where Gable munches on carrots. You have to keep in mind, Looney Tunes are very old, right? Like Bugs Bunny is old.
Yeah.
Like the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
In the 40s, if you were watching that, you'd be like, oh, that's a Clark Gable reference.
Oh.
But no one... Eventually, that reference point dissolved, and then it just became rabbits, carrots.
So, this Clark Gable ate carrots so frequently on screen that people got it?
Movie.
Oh, okay.
In a specific movie, he ate carrots. That was just like a thing he did.
Got it.
In a movie, I guess. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I thought that stuff was so interesting.
Imagine being known for that. For
eating carrots?
You're the carrot. You're the guy with the carrot.
Well, I think it would have been the same as like, I don't know, think of a specific movie or something like that. With a prop. I'm trying to think of something, and now I can't think of nothing. Never mind.
Okay.
That was stupid. I should never have started that sentence. I didn't know where it was going to lead, and it led to nowhere. So yeah, we're doing our top 5 video game characters. So I have a big history with video games.
Yes.
I've always loved video games. I've had Game Boys. I did a very, very small little baby amount of playing computer games, but that was never really my shtick. I have friends, like Jason Ayers was really big into PC gaming. Nick Panel is still into... I'm giving these people's full names. Google them. He still plays video games.
I love computer games, but not like when you think of gaming.
Yeah, no.
Like, I loved, like...
The Sims.
I'm going back to, like, the Barbie game where she rollerblades. And also Putt-Putt.
Oh, damn, dude. I didn't even consider those for that list. Putt-Putt and Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam.
Ooh, woo.
Yeah. Those were so fun.
No need to hide when it's dark outside. Pajama Sam. Yeah, dude. Damn,
that was the kind of computer games that I liked.
Heck yeah.
Dressupgames.com. Tony will get that. That was a website we used to frequent all the time.
I used to love Roller Coaster Tycoon. I was a big
Aaron Bloodgood was big into that.
I was a big fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I remember when the original Sims came out. That was just fun. Like, when it first came out, so much fun. Building your house, creating your person, learning the little cheat code to get your extra money.
I need to fire up my Sims laptop. I have a laptop dedicated to The Sims because it takes up so much space.
I heard that.
And I need to fire it up because I have The Sims right now on my desktop.
Yep.
And I like to play it, but whenever I sit at my desk, Olive screams. So.
Oh yeah. It's rough, man. It's rough having animals.
It is hard. It's rough having codependent animals who can't just like sit on their own.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's like a double-edged sword, man.
Yeah.
I love animals. I love pets so much. But yeah, you have to be ready for that responsibility. And if they are codependent, that's more responsibility. Or
you can't play The Sims whenever you want.
Ignoring them.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm interested to see your list. I think it'll be some randoms that I don't know. I'm not well acquainted with.
Yeah, I think you're going to know all of them. You're going to know every single one.
Okay.
Whether or not you've played the games, I don't know. Maybe you've watched me play the games. I'm just thinking about now in my brain. One of them is a computer game, actually, which is crazy. But yeah, so we're going to go through our top 5.
Okay.
Talk about our video game experience. Do you remember? Because you used to always like watching play video games, too.
I still like watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is hard because obviously you would never want to watch me play like Call of Duty. And I don't blame you.
I like watching Mortal Kombat. I like watching
Mortal
story
Kombat's
games.
pretty fun.
Like Spyro.
Yeah. There's some really good ones. There's some fun ones that are just like very, what's the word?
Mario games
just
I like
kind
to
of
watch.
It's a vibe. It's just like chill.
It is chill. It's the people I watch do. I don't know if it ever happens to you because I don't know if you watch it, but there are, like when you're scrolling through TikTok and you'll scroll into a live.
Yeah.
All the ones on my feed are people streaming them playing video games. There's this one person who pops up on my lives all the time who I don't follow, who he streams wearing like a full, like, I don't know what you call it. Those like full body suits where it like goes over your head even. And it's just like blank.
I forget what they're called, but yes, I know exactly.
He wears
Zen
that
suits or something.
It's like it's like black, like or gray, and his whatever is behind him, which I think is like green screen, looks like a spaceship. And he streams like every single day, and he pops up every morning, and the caption of the stream is like coffee and blah blah whatever game he's playing, and like it's always like coffee and Mario Kart, coffee and Super Mario Galaxy, coffee and Spyro, and I just sit there and I watch him play, and he just talks, and I love watching people play games and talk, and I like when they're really good. That makes it even more fun to.
I feel like
watch.
In order to be a successful video game streamer, you either have to be really good or your personality has to be able to balance out you not being amazing at the game. Yeah. And as long as you're decent at the game.
Yeah.
If you're like genuinely shit at the game and you're constantly dying, I can't imagine anybody actually watching you. Your personality would have to be amazing. I'm sure it happens. I used to watch people play video games a lot, and it was only based on personality. It was like there's this YouTube streamer, YouTuber, whatever, named Mr. Fruit.
Okay.
His real name's Christian something or other, but
Mr.
Fruit. And him and his friends would play like games together, and it would be sometimes it would be like a shooting game, and they're on there and they're on the same team, and you can hear all the voices, and that was fun. And then you would also see other ones where it's like they're playing like online like a video game, but they're playing like Uno.
Yeah.
And that was just as funny as everything else because their personalities and their friends and stuff. And I was always like, man, I wish I could do like he dropped out of college and like bought his own house, and like he shows his house, and it was just like fucking beautiful and gigantic. And
have you seen
I phased out of watching people play video games just because most of the time I don't get the same. I don't know if it's a maturity thing or what, but for some reason like I don't watch people play video games anymore.
Have you seen on Watcher, they have like a new series where Ryan and Shane play
scary video games. I've seen the thumbnails pop up. I'm not interested.
Because they're scary?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because Shane is funny.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's just like another version of Shane scaring Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is funny.
Anytime Mr. Fruit used to do scary video games, I wouldn't watch.
Yeah.
Unless it was, there's this video game that's, gosh, what is it? Like that the classic horror guy, Jason. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what the name of his movies are. It's not Friday the 13th, right? Or no, it is Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because Halloween is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Okay. I get them confused sometimes. Just the names. Because again,
I don't watch any of that.
I don't do horror movies. But everybody that you're playing with, one of you gets to be Jason. And the other people get to be like the camp people. Oh. And you have to try and like turn these generators on to like open the gate so that you can escape. But the generators make loud noises. So then if you're the Jason character, you can like sneak up on them. Yeah. That was cool because you got to see like Mr. Fruit or one of the other people be the bad guy. And so it was like, that was funny. And I was like, that's actually really clever of a game idea. It's a fun multiplayer game. But, okay. Let's get into it. Let's talk about these video game characters, what they mean to us, what vibes led us to choose these particular people.
Okay.
And for me, all of mine hit a level of nostalgia, sentiment, and childhood.
Okay. Mine were chosen strictly on cute vibes.
Cute vibes?
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. I feel like a lot of great video game characters that will go down in history hit that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you look at the lists of video game characters, they're all characters from video games that I give so little shits about. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care about Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil series. I'm sorry. I don't care about Cortana from the Halo series. Yeah. I like some of them I really do not care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Because those games, like those shooting games, I was never into. I mean, first of all, I never played Resident Evil except for the few times in like the movie theater when it was like an arcade thing with the actual gun, because that's not that scary. But like, I'm not playing in real life. No, thank you. I'm not playing Silent Hill. I saw the characters from Silent Hill came up a bunch. No, thank you. I'm not playing these games. Terrifying. It's scarier than a scary movie because you decide to go down the dark corridor.
Yeah.
I used to, Caitlin and I used to smoke weed sometimes, and we would play Left 4 Dead 2. Oh. It's a really intense zombie game.
Feels like something.
I mean, we would open all the windows and it'd be the middle of the day, so it would be very bright out, and I'd be standing, and we would both be standing playing the game. And it was funny because it was both of us. Yeah. So it was a little bit better, but still terrifying. I remember screaming all the time.
I will say, this is a sidebar. I went to an arcade recently. Very underrated activity. It was so fun.
Oh, okay, yes.
It just made me want to go to more arcades.
I feel like arcades can be fun.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just playing all the games. It was so fun. Skee ball. So fun.
Really? Skee ball?
Yeah, I like skee ball.
Okay.
I got my first ever 10,000.
Oh, wow.
That little circle in the far corner.
Corners?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I know.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So, now there are different styles of games. And back in the day, the most popular style of game, in my opinion, I could be completely wrong, was called a platformer. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where your character, you're kind of going from left to right on the screen, and there's a bunch of platforms, and you kind of have to jump from platform to platform. Yeah. And that's kind of the whole fucking gist. Think of like old school Super Mario. Mm-hmm. Right? This one came out in 1995. There have been a couple of sequels. And I fell in love with it. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was just the simplicity of the game itself, because it's just kind of a simple platformer. Mm-hmm. But also, I really liked the main character, who I obviously chose. I liked their personality. I liked this sort of little bit of a... He has this vibe that I identify with when it comes with certain characters and stuff like that, is being a little snarky.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being a little snarky, having a little bit of an attitude.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
So my number 5 is Rayman.
Okay.
He's the main protagonist. The game itself is called Rayman. He is referred to as a thingamajig.
Okay.
He has no arms, legs, or neck. But he does have a body, a head, hands, and feet.
Okay.
So his hand, think Haunter. Like
yeah.
His hands are just floating in air, and his feet are kind of just on the ground, and his head, he always kind of bounced a little bit.
Okay.
Due to his lack of arms, Rayman is able to throw his fists in long-range punch attacks at his enemies. And in some games, he's even able to project balls of energy from his hands.
Ah, I see.
He's able to glide by spinning his hair like helicopter blades. He's wearing white gloves, a red neckerchief, and has a purple body with a ring in the center.
A red what?
Neckerchief?
Interesting.
You know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Feels like handkerchief.
It's almost like an
not.
ascot.
Okay.
It goes around your neck.
Okay. He looks funny.
Yeah. He looks like a little goofball kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just always have loved Rayman. He just always has a little bit of an attitude. He's fun. He has like kind of the floppy blonde hair.
He had an animated series.
Did he really? That I did not know.
1999 to 2000.
The plot of the game, in the plot in which Rayman lives, or in the planet in which Rayman lives, people are harmonious thanks to the great Protoon. However, the evil Mr. Dark steals the Protoon, causing the Electoons, tiny beings that maintain harmony on Rayman's planet. I said Rayman's planet, to scatter all over the world. Batilla the Fairy, a guardian of the great Protoon, battles Mr. Dark to get back the Protoon and Electoons, but fails. So Rayman decides to go and find the Electoons. It's getting a little heady, and I'm going to stop reading this plot now. But yeah.
Okay.
I guess that has to do with electrons and protons being in harmony with each other, and then like if you steal the proton, then the electrons. Yeah, that's some atomic lore right there.
Wow.
But yeah, I just love the little guy. He always was really fun and goofy looking. I am now going to show Raven a little picture here. Can you? I don't know. I'm like.
I can briefly see.
Wrapped in.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
That's the little guy.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of fun.
What thing was this for? PlayStation?
No, computers.
Oh.
Mainly.
It's a computer game. Okay.
Yeah. Eventually, they started coming out with like other
versions,
platforms and stuff like that. It was created Atari Jaguar. I've never even fucking heard of that. PlayStation, Sega Saturn, MS-DOS, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DSi, iOS, and Android. So I don't know if it's available on like phones right now, but
wow.
Yeah, it's a very typical side-scrolling platform video game.
Okay.
Developed and published by Ubisoft.
Cute.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. So that was Rayman. Because I remember the later ones too. Like probably in the first one, I don't remember there being like a ton of cutscenes, but I remember playing some of the like Rayman 3 or whatever, and there would be like little cutscenes where he's like talking to people.
Yeah.
And just like he was like he just seemed like a cool guy. I was just into it.
A cool guy.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
That's a nostalgic pick.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. All right.
Thanks. What's your number 5?
Okay. Have you ever heard of the 2017 video game ARMS?
Oh God, I think so. Yeah.
It's a game where, from what I understand, all of the characters have different crazy arms.
Yep.
Okay. So there's a character from that game named Min Min.
Okay.
And Min Min also appears in a version of Super Smash Brothers. She is a fighter that you can pick. Min Min was created... What?
She's in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 2020. Downloadable content.
Oh, downloadable content.
Min Min was created based on the concept of ramen.
Oh.
Her hair resembles noodles, and she sports a beanie that resembles a ramen bowl.
So she does.
She's very cute. She's like this little blonde girl.
I'm looking at a picture of her, yeah.
With these massive arms that have like things on the end. Her arms in their basic form resemble a spiraling shape of noodles. In the game, when Min Min charges up her left arm, it transforms into a Chinese dragon. Her traditional attire consists of athletic wear and sneakers, with her shirt sporting the Chinese character for noodle. I mean, this character was made for me.
Yeah, it really was.
She's just a girl based on noodles.
Yeah, she's just a noodle-based girl.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I was affectionately known in my younger years as a noodlehead.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yes, you were a noodlehead. That's a true story, guys.
Yeah.
She's not just saying that.
I just think she's so cute. And if I played this game ARMS, I would be her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. Min Min. That's my number 5.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually never played that game. I remember hearing about it and thinking that it sounded kind of cool, and it was like Nintendo's trying to break into the fighting game
I never played it either,
world.
to be
Because
clear.
I think it was a fighting game, right?
I think so.
Yeah, for some reason I really do think I think it's a fighting game.
Yeah.
But anyway, oh, this is on the Smash wiki, so it's like all about fucking Smash. Whoops.
Yeah, so she's my number 5.
Yeah, it was a 2017 fighting game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. I remember this game not performing as well as they wanted it to.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did look pretty interesting, kind of cool. It was like everybody had like spring arms of some sort.
Yeah.
That could like spring out.
Yeah.
And you could shoot real far or punch real far and everything like that. But yeah, one of the main characters is Spring Man. Genius. And then Ribbon Girl.
Wow. That's why I didn't do well. Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, fighting games are so interesting to me.
I don't love them.
I like them. I liked them back in the day. For example, and none of these characters made my list, and that's probably a shame on me. The game Tekken. Anybody who knows the game Tekken should remember that in Tekken, I want to say Tekken 2. I could be wrong, but Tekken did this great thing where, like, if you beat the arcade mode with, let's just say, character A, you unlock character B. And that was the only way to get character B. There was no downloadable content where you had to pay for characters like fucking the new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't like how they did that.
You beat the story mode and
Kombat.
they give you the character Frost, and that's it. And then they're like, hey, all these dope characters like Nightwolf and Shang Tsung and whatever, yeah, you have to buy them. Oh, and then we also have like the Terminator and Rambo. Who the fuck cares about?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the nostalgia for some people. Like, don't get me wrong. They did come out with one downloadable character who's not normally from Mortal Kombat. Spawn.
Yeah.
That scratches a certain, like, 90s, early 2000s little thing for me. Just because of the movie Spawn. And it being, like... Dude, the graphics are garbage. It is crazy. And it's, like, one of those movies that's so... In terms of lighting... is so dark. It's just like crazy. That movie is wild. But I remember still, nonetheless, being like so into Spawn.
Yeah.
Like just edgelord fucking Hot Topic vibes. Even though I wasn't that kid at that time, that movie still hit all those checkpoints.
Interesting.
Yeah. But in Tekken, the reason I brought Tekken up is because they did that thing where you unlock characters. And
yes.
then there was like secret ways to unlock secret characters. And that's how you got characters like, I think one of them was named Roger. And then you had Alex. And Roger was a kangaroo with punching gloves.
Okay.
And then Alex was a velociraptor with punching gloves.
Wow.
And those are 2 characters that you got to play.
Wow.
And then you learn about the lore, which you don't have to. It's just a fighting game, right? But you can. You learn about the lore, and you learn about like how one part of this like government was like, here's what we'll do. We'll genetically modify kangaroos, and they'll become our army. and then they're like, or we can take this ancient DNA from an amber, and we'll bring velociraptors back to life. Teach them how to box. As like the idea that you would put soft, big boxing gloves on a velociraptor as opposed to just like
it being a velociraptor,
taming it and it being a velociraptor. Hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, there were so many fun characters like that. Like you had a character, I can't remember what his name was, man, but he was just like a wood dummy. He was like Soto Wodo almost. But he was just like like imagine if you were in like an old school dojo and it would just be like a dummy that you could beat up.
Yeah.
But it was made of wood. And that was a character.
Weird.
Yeah. It was wild. It was just like I miss Tekken so much, and like I think they're coming out with a new Tekken, and I know that it's gonna not be as good. I know that they're gonna do DLC probably and all the dumb shit.
It's just gonna have to stay in your memories as a good game. Also, sidebar, in the season of Pokemon I'm on, Brock recently acquired what I have been pronouncing up until this point as a Bonsly. Mm-hmm. In the show, it is a Bonsly.
Oh, wrong.
And
I hate that so much. Please weigh in, listeners who love our Pokemon content. Do you think the pre-evolution first stage form of Sudowoodo should be called Bonsly or Bonsly?
Because the show says Bonsly.
Hessy
and
Maven at gmail.com.
It is an actual baby. Like Brock carries it around like a baby and feeds it with a bottle, and it cries all the time.
Jesus Christ.
Like a baby.
I could fucking never.
Could you imagine?
I'd be if that were the case, where Pokemon were actual like acting like babies and needed to be like that taken care of. Yeah. I'd be catching evolved forms all day.
Yeah.
I would never.
I can't believe he caught this Bonsly. Anyway.
Absolutely wild. Okay.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. I'm curious if this made your list.
Okay.
Spyro.
No. Almost.
Interesting. Okay.
But no.
So
I do love Spyro.
Spyro, the classic purple and yellow goldish dragon. A lot of fun, an absolute joy to play.
Yes.
It's considered a platformer, but it starts to get into like the 3D realm. That's when video games were really starting to explore. Well, they were doing exploration beforehand, but this is when they started getting good.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can watch, you could do, like, old school, like, Star Fox, and that's, like, kind of 3D. Or even, like, the super old, like, for the computer, Star Wars games and stuff. Those are kind of 3D. But this was better.
Okay.
It wasn't just, like, vectors and stuff, like, just, like, lines. Have you ever seen, like, old school Star Fox? Where, like, you know Fox, the character from Super Smash?
Yeah.
His video game, Star Fox?
No.
Dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you're not used to that. Like, if you didn't grow up with that. Like,
wait, is that the one where you're in the plane and you're shooting?
Yeah.
And okay, I maybe like watched you
like,
play.
Everything is like hardcore polygons and stuff. Yeah, I have it on the Switch because of the little Nintendo Plus thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. But okay, so 1998, PlayStation comes out with Spyro the Dragon. And there have been lots of sequels, and there's been a reboot trilogy, which you have. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun. It's created by Insomniac Games, which is a lot of fun because I think Insomniac Games also helped come out with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think they also came out with... they helped develop Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Okay.
Which is fucking crazy. But yeah, Spyro the Dragon. So similar to Rayman. I like his snarkiness. I like his little bit of an attitude kind of thing.
He is snarky.
I love that. I like the little tiny cutaways, like the funny little scenes every time you unlock a dragon from like its crystal form or whatever. When he's talking to bad guys and stuff like that, and just like his little attitude.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
The reason that Spyro did not make my list is because as I do love him as a character, and I love the world of Spyro. Like, it's very fun for me to play.
Yeah.
Spyro is one of those games where you don't have to be a super good video game player to play it. Yeah. Like, it is one of those games like Super Mario Odyssey where, like, just like a noob like me could play.
Right.
But you have to have a little bit of skill because, like, there are certain things that you have to do. Like, I think the last time I stopped playing it, there's, like, a thing where I have to, like, I'm at the top of a tower and I have to, like, sprint down this spiral thing,
yeah.
build up enough speed, knock down this one thing, fly around a corner, like, and I have to do, like, this combination of moves that I've tried maybe 100 times to do, and I can't do it.
That shit is hard.
Then I just get so aggravated and I stop playing.
Yeah.
Spyro, and I hate that.
Spyro does. And I think that's true for a lot of platformers where there are certain parts, because I've tried to like go through, because I didn't grow up really, I mean, a little bit, I guess, but like, because I remember we had like a Super Nintendo and I remember having a Sega Genesis and learning that really specific code, up, down, left, right, A, B, hold, select and press start or whatever it was.
Okay.
There's a name for it. It's like a person who developed it. It was just like a famous cheat code that worked for a lot of games. AKA they put it in the game, obviously. Okay. But I don't really remember playing a ton of Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers 3 or anything like that. I remember playing a little bit at some people's houses and stuff like that. But I just remember being super aggravated at how hard it was. I was like, how have people beaten Super Mario Brothers? Like, this shit is hard. There's like, it comes to a certain level where I'm just like, I just can't get past this level.
Yeah.
And then like,
and then you're mad.
Also come to find out that there's like secret ways to get secret keys. Like, one of the things in one of the stages, you have to, you know, the thing that floats in the cloud and like throws hammers.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like floats around and sometimes it like follows you. That guy, you have to kill that guy. Then you jump in the cloud and that's the only way to get to a specific tunnel. And you go down the tunnel and that's how you get this magic key. And that's the only way you can get further in the...
yeah.
What? And of course I Googled that.
Right, you have to.
So just like the idea that people were able to figure this shit out like fresh is wild to me.
I know.
Even Pokemon Red and Blue, like I had magazines that helped me out, and I've watched like there's a really good people who like video games, and especially like older video games, like people who are my age and Raven's age, and older. I highly recommend you watch the Netflix documentary High Score. It's so fun. It's just like edited in a fun way. It's created in a fun way. They interview interesting people. It talks about the history of video games. It is so fun. Like every time I come across it on Netflix, I'm like, man, I almost want to rewatch this, even though I fucking know what happens. Like, but anyway, so yeah, my number 4 is Spyro, another
Very
platformer,
good.
although getting into the 3D world, and again with the snarky attitude, that being like a big thing for me.
Okay.
When it comes to certain characters, but okay.
All right. My number 4 is a character from League of Legends, another game I've never played.
I never will play.
And never will play. Her name is Lulu.
Okay. How is
she is Lulu. She is the Fey Sorceress. She's very cute.
League of Legends, Lulu. Goodness gracious.
Waiting for you to look at her.
Yeah,
because she's so
dude.
cute.
Oh wow!
Do you see her?
Pick her.
So listen to this little blurb about her. Ready? The Yordle mage, Lulu, is known for conjuring dreamlike illusions and fanciful creatures as she roams Runeterra with her fairy companion Pix. Lulu shapes reality on a whim, warping the fabric of the world and what she views as the constraints of this mundane physical realm. While others might consider her magic at best unnatural and at worst dangerous, she believes everyone could use a touch of enchantment.
Sounds right up your alley.
Another character made for me. Mm-hmm. I love her.
I think we would only get into League of Legends if, number one, we weren't playing against real people and we were playing against a computer.
Okay.
And if we were, like, playing with friends.
Is it a computer game?
It is a computer game.
Is it like Skyrim?
Nope.
Oh.
It's not. Do you know
There's
the game?
No world?
You know the game that we play, 9 Scrolls?
Yeah.
The 9 parchments, 9 scrolls or whatever. It's more closely related to that, but not... See, that game's a lot of fun for us because we're just playing against the system, the computer.
Yeah.
It's not like that. You're playing against another team of people.
I wouldn't like that at all.
Like, I don't know that much, so if you're a fucking League of Legends fan, please excuse my ignorance for a moment. But I think it's like 5-on-5 or something like that, and each team has like certain roles. Like one person might be support, one person might be a tank or a healer. Yeah. One person might be a DPS, which is damage per second. Means like you're trying to do damage. You're like the attacker. And each team can pick different characters or legends, League of Legends, and they attack each other. Oh. And there's like towers or different things that you have to figure out. I don't fucking understand it. But
Lulu is a support role.
I've looked up the characters and stuff like that, and they're all dope. Not all of, some of them you're like, whatever. But a lot of them are dope. Especially I started looking into them because of the TV show Arcane.
Yes.
That's based on League of Legends.
Yeah.
Of course, they follow different characters.
Right.
So, unfortunately, Lulu I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But maybe she'll pop up if they do another season, which I desperately need them to because it was such a good fucking show.
Was there magic in that show? In the scenes you had me watch, it just seemed like steampunk technology or something like that.
Yeah. For most of it is. But the magic is like... Because most of the story revolves around a very specific city. Yeah. And in that city, magic is too dangerous. We don't understand it. Outlawed. Okay. Kind of thing. And one person is like, listen, I'm starting to understand magic. I think we can work it into our technology. Da-da-da-da. And, of course, there's like the one person who's like, that's a terrible idea. Yeah. Like, if it falls into the wrong hands, like, you don't know where this is going to lead. Where do we draw the line? That whole thing. Gets overvoted or outvoted. Yeah. And then just things, ensue from there. So they definitely introduce magic into the story. Okay. And show that it's real. Okay. Because that character who's like, listen, I'm starting to understand magic. He has like a flashback or something like that where he actually met like a wizard or a sorcerer. Oh, okay. Who could do magical things. Okay. So it's such a fucking good show. It is so good.
I believe you.
It gets pretty heavy. Like, the first 3 episodes are pretty heavy.
Yeah. There were some scenes I watched that were heavy.
Yeah. But I love it so much. And I love Jinx. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
With the character of Jinx. I just think she's so complicated and interesting.
Yeah.
Like, from a viewer standpoint, just, like, so complicated of a character. Ugh. I was so into it. Not to mention I cannot remember the other girl's name. I think it's Catherine. Oh, God. She's like the police officer character who's like really good with guns. Oh. Her and V have this sort of like will they, won't they sort of lesbian-ish relationship. By the way, depending on, I don't know when this will come out, if it still is, but at the time of recording this, I think it's still Lesbian Visibility Week. I see lesbians. And, yeah, it's super cute. It's just so cute. The little will they, won't they little thing. It's just like one of those, that typical thing that TV shows do where it's like very cute. And then eventually it gets to a point where you're like, just fucking kiss already. But I love them.
Okay.
Me and my friend sometimes will send me like fan art. And I'm always like, I love them. Okay.
Your number 3.
League of Legends. My number 3 is sort of a a 2-for-1. I feel like they come in a package that it makes sense.
Okay.
And I don't feel bad about including 2 in 1.
Okay.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I would have been surprised if this didn't make the list.
I love this game so fucking much. It is the perfect sentiment nostalgia game for me. I just love it so much. I love the entire concept of learning the different skills throughout the game, and then sometimes you have to backtrack and go to other older worlds that you've already been to because now you have the new skills, so now you can hit that one part of the map that you couldn't hit before. I loved collecting all the little mumbo jumbo things and turning into different kinds of animals and stuff. That was fucking adorable. Becoming a fat bee or becoming a little tiny baby spherical walrus. All the little silly little, like, almost like mini game things. Like in the ice world, you had to race that polar bear, or like just everything about that fucking game is so fun.
I love any game where you jump into different worlds.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It so much fun. Collecting all the little puzzle pieces. The music is on fire. It's so fucking good. All the little characters are fun.
What's the noise? It's like grumble, grumble. Do you know what I'm talking about? When you get close to that like big skull. Oh my god, you know what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
There's like I don't know if it's when you collect the puzzle pieces or you like get close to, you go into like, oh my god, now I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about.
Is it when he collects the silver skull things for the mumbo jumbo guy?
Mumbo jumbo. Yeah, isn't there like a noise?
I think so. There's noise. The sound design in that game is fucking amazing. It's so good. Or like the little, I forget what they're called, little Jinkos. Uh-huh. The little colored, you know what I'm talking about? The little colored sprites that were hidden around every map that you had to find. Oh God, are you going to play it? Oh. Why is it going so slow?
It's just doing noises. Wait.
Why? Like, why is it separated so much? It sounds so weird.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, play again.
But yeah, the sound. Yeah.
That's it.
It was fun. It was a very fun game. And then like, oh gosh, yeah. As soon as they released it onto the Nintendo Switch, the little emulator thing, I played it and I beat it. Actually, the sad part is there's an entire world in that game that I didn't have to go to because I was so good at collecting puzzle pieces and music notes throughout the whole thing that I didn't even need to do the last stage.
Yeah.
I had enough stuff to just immediately battle the fucking witch.
Yeah.
And I beat her and saved
2D. Whatever.
Yeah. And I was good to go.
Very good.
And then I felt super depressed and I was like, wow, I'm done.
Sad.
What a bummer. But yeah, that game is such a blast. I love Banjo-Kazooie. I love the way that they talk to each other and they act and everything. And like, even though they don't have voices in the sense of like they're not speaking,
yeah,
they fall into that kind of like The Sims, sort of like just like making noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like subtitles.
Yeah.
But just that, again, with the attitude, like just constantly fighting everybody, and just like every time they get lessons from the little mole guy calling Kazooie bird brain and stuff, and
yeah, there's like funny banter
constantly. Yeah, lots of banter.
Yeah,
I love banter. So yeah, my number 3,
very good,
Banjo-Kazooie.
Very good.
Thank you.
My number 3 is Princess Zelda.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
I love her in the same vein that I love Cinderella, where it seems like they don't do much. They're just like pretty. Like, does she do much in the game?
Eventually.
Oh.
Not always. She didn't always do a lot in the games. Like, I think in the first couple games probably did nothing. It was strictly a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
But that is
I
not
love
always
her.
true.
She's, according to this, Zelda.fandom.com. Zelda is depicted as a kind and benevolent ruler with a wisdom beyond her years and a deep love towards the people she watches over.
Yeah.
Her most prominent display of compassion and selflessness was when she saved the life of Midna, the princess of the Twilight Realm, who had nearly been killed by the false king of the Twilight, Zant. Zelda's wisdom is her most valuable attribute. Yeah,
because I think, and you'll remember this from the Super Smash Bros. Back in the day, like when Zelda first became a character in Super Smash Bros., she had the ability to transform into Sheik.
Oh.
It was like down B.
Okay.
And she did a little twist and then became like this like Bedouin fucking like assassin looking scarf around the face and everything. And then threw like ninja stars and stuff. So her and Sheik are the same person.
Oh, okay.
And then in the most recent games, they're two separate characters. But
interesting.
In the most recent Super Smash Bros., they're two separate playable characters, but they're still the same person.
Okay.
The same as like Zero Suit Samus and Samus are the same person. They're just two different playable characters.
Okay.
But yeah. So I think they gave her a lot more agency eventually.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's just so cute. This says she upholds her responsibilities no matter the cost and is always willing to help her friends, such as in Skyward Sword, where Zelda faces her duties as the goddess reborn. Cute.
Wow.
And willingly remains in a deep sleep to keep Demise imprisoned within his seal.
Jeez. Yeah. Have you ever watched me play You've watched me play Breath of the Wild.
Only a little. I think like you gave up on it faster than I wanted you to.
Yeah. I might pick it up again, but I'm not sure. Because it's just like, I'm either going to pick it up again, or I'm just going to wait for the new one and just play that one.
Yeah.
And pretend like Breath of the Wild never existed.
Yeah.
I played it a lot longer. Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game that I put time into. I've tried the older ones, and it's not just a graphics thing. It's like a game design thing. It's not 100% their fault. It's what was capable at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know how you were talking about how like you don't love the old Pokemon because of the like sort of unseen grid system that you have to walk on?
Yes.
Like you can only walk up, left, right, down. You can't like walk normal.
Yes.
That's how the old Zeldas were too.
I don't.
You know what I mean? Just because that's what was available. That's just like what video games could do.
Yes.
It wasn't like they chose, hey, let's instead of doing normal, let's walk up, down, left. Like no, that was the only thing that they could do. You know.
Right.
So that being said, it's a little annoying having to fight bad guys that way and having to constantly figure things out, and I don't know. It's not for me.
And I just love the fact that it's probably well known at this point, but I learned it maybe like a year ago, that Japanese game creator Shigeru Miyamoto needed a name for her. Mm-hmm. And according to The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia, a PR rep advised the princess be a, quote, timeless beauty with classic appeal, end quote. He suggested they name the princess after the wife of the famous American author, F. Scott Fitzgerald.
His
wife,
Zelda.
Who was a, quote, eternal beauty, end quote. Yeah. So I just think that is a really cool fact.
It is a cool fact.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my fun fact.
Yeah, it is a fun fact. It's a fact that when I first heard it, I thought whoever told me was making it up. Yeah,
it does sound like a made up thing where you're like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely enjoy the vibes of Link and Zelda and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's good vibes. It's cottagecore.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
This one was really interesting too, Breath of the Wild. Again, the first Zelda game that I put any real time into, so like I don't fully understand the lore. I know that the timeline is a little confusing, and every time I see a YouTube video that's like the timeline of Link and Zelda explained, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and I'm just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking do it.
I got it.
I tried to do one of those for Tekken, and it was just like so off the walls crazy that I was just like, I can't do this. But yeah, I might just get the new one. And then, honestly, I'm getting the new one, even though I know my money doesn't really go to him, because I'm pretty sure like all the voice actors get paid beforehand, and I don't know if they get paid on a percentage of sales. Okay. But Matt Mercer is playing Ganondorf in the new one.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm very excited.
That's exciting. I
love him so much. He recently, in the most recent Critical Role episode that came out, that's on YouTube, I mean, he's wearing a shirt it's sort of like a homage to the Dare shirts, but it says drag is not a crime. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see support. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is I had to pick one specific character from this game in order to sort of make it make sense. And I thought a lot about multiple characters. I knew I had to pick someone from this game because this game has always been a big part of my life. It has been represented in movies that make my lists. I picked from the classic Mortal Kombat game. I picked Johnny Cage.
Okay.
I love attitude.
Yeah.
I love attitude and snarky people. Mm-hmm. And I also appreciate a good character arc. I normally would have hated Johnny Cage had he not grown up and become a full three-dimensional person and not just a snotty movie star who's just a real piece of shit and like total womanizer and all this shit.
Yeah.
And he fully becomes like an actual person.
Okay.
Who eventually gets with Sonya Blade and has a daughter named Cassie Cage and all this amazing stuff. And then you find out that Johnny Cage is actually like the reason he can do some like borderline magical stuff. Like in the video games, they gave him the ability to like throw these green balls of energy, or he could do that weird like flying jump kick where like green energy would go behind him, like almost like a propulsion.
Yeah.
Shoot him into the kick. And for a while it was just like, oh, they're just doing that to make him look cooler and give him like a range attack with this like green energy ball. But then slowly you find out that he has like this bloodline that's connected to ancient things and and it was like that's why he's so powerful and stuff. But yeah, I've always just loved Johnny Cage. I just think he's always been so fun. He's like fun to play in terms of like his fighting style in the actual game itself. I also have always loved Mortal Kombat. So whether it was, I mean, I've always loved Sub-Zero. I've always loved Cyrax. There's a lot of characters that I've always been big fans of. I liked the character Kenshi, who isn't in all of the Mortal Kombat games, but he's the one, you may have seen him, and I'm just going to describe him just in case. He is like a swordsman who is blind and has a red bandana tied around his eyes. And he can sometimes fight with spirits and stuff. He has like deep connections to spirits and stuff. So like there's like certain moves he can do where like he'll just like go like this, and then from behind him like the spirit of a samurai will come forward and slice somebody, and it's very fucking cool. But yeah, I mean, he's just a fucking normal as fuck dude who's this like, I mean, he was always really trained. It was like the equivalent of, I think the way that it worked was in the first, when they were developing the first Mortal Kombat, the very first one, and you may have seen the graphics, it's like real people almost, you know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm saying? How they kind of look like real people as opposed to like video game characters. Like they look a little video gamey, but if you look up like Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 and even some of 3, they look like real people, and it's because they were like photographed.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it was done. It wasn't like motion capture.
Yeah.
it was more like they were wearing the outfits.
Yeah.
And they would go like this, and then they would take pictures, and that's how they like made the animation.
Yeah. I didn't know that's also how they make, by the way, Just Dance. Mm-hmm. I thought that was all just animated little blob figures doing the dances, and it's actual people.
Yeah, it's fully people.
Which is crazy.
It is wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has what's it called? Just like a charisma to him and stuff like that. He has a certain amount of cockiness for sure, which is why I normally wouldn't have picked him if I didn't see kind of the growth as we move along. Because like, in the most recent Mortal Kombat 11 during the story mode, spoilers, Sonya Blade dies. The older, because there's like a lot of time shit, so it's fucking confusing. But like, present day Sonya Blade dies, and obviously that crushes Johnny Cage. And seeing Johnny Cage go through that turmoil, it just humanized him in a way that I wasn't expecting. So that's why he made the list. That and like his fatalities in the most recent game also fucking kill me. They're so funny. He does this thing where he like fucking he like essentially like cuts them in half, and then like uses his hand and the top half of this person to be like a puppet, like a ventriloquism dummy. And then he says like dumb lines, like just the most cheesiest dad puns.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny. And then someone will throw a tomato at him, and the tomato will hit the dummy, and then it'll freeze and be like fatality. And I'm always like, that's genius. It's so funny. But yeah, he was actually modeled after Jean-Claude Van Damme. They asked Jean-Claude Van Damme if he wanted to be in the game, but because of his movie schedule, he couldn't. Mm-hmm. And that's where Johnny Cage came from, is like he's based on this like action star at the time that the game was being made.
I only know who that is because he makes an appearance in a Friends episode.
There you go. But yeah, he is fucking hilarious. I love him so much. I think he's so fun.
Get over here. That's my only frame of reference for
Mortal Kombat in general. Yeah, that's Scorpion.
Yeah.
But well done.
Yeah.
All right. What is your number 4?
2?
What is your number 2? I'm writing them down so it threw me off.
Toadette.
Oh, fun.
I love Toadette so much. She is my number 1 favorite character in Mario Kart. I think that she is so stinking cute. I would love a tattoo of her one day. She originally was introduced in as a racing partner for Toad in Mario Kart Double Dash. But now she's in like a million other games. She's also a main character in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This description of her is funny. It says, while she has similar traits to other characters, she is the most commonly recurring female Toad in the Mario franchise. Isn't she the only female Toad?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea.
Toadette has been shown to be on good terms with characters such as Princess Peach, Daisy, Toad, Toadsworth?
Toadsworth.
Who's Toadsworth?
Good fucking question. Googling it now. Oh, it's just an elderly Toad.
Okay, great.
But his mushroom top is tan and brown. Oh. And he has a mustache. And small glasses.
Cute.
Very cute.
Yoshi, Luigi, and Mario. Toadette's defining traits are her bouncing pigtails, cheerful and energetic personality, and occasional bursts of creativity.
Beautiful.
I love it. They're like, how do you know it's Toadette? They're like, well, she's cheerful, she's creative, pigtails? And her bouncing pigtails.
She has bouncing pigtails.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot. She has bouncing pigtails.
She's so
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Cute.
She is very cute.
I love that they gave her pigtails.
I know.
It's so cute. Like, they could have just left her pink, and you kind of would have assumed that she was or they could have made her pink and told us that she was the female Toad, and you kind of get it, but then they added the pigtails, and you're just like, oh my god.
It is fun. She's fun.
She's so cute. I love her. There's a quote from her in this article, which is so funny. I hope you can achieve all of your dreams.
Oh.
Toadette from Super Mario Odyssey.
That's cute.
I know. I love her. She's my number 2.
Very good.
Almost number 1, but my number 1 inched out.
Interesting. Right. I'm curious to see what your number 1 will be. I think I have an idea in my head. There's only one character I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be surprised.
My number 1 is also from the Mario universe of worlds.
Okay.
Princess Peach Toadstool. My number 1. I fucking love her. I love her so much. There was a period of time when I was going through my annoying hipster phase when I was like, everybody loves Peach. I have to pick Wendy.
Yeah.
And also, I only called Daisy Wendy. Another dumb thing I used to do.
Yeah. I didn't think you were going to address that.
When I intentionally misname her. Yeah, I intentionally misname her, which...
She looks like a Wendy. I don't know.
She looks like the Wendy's girl. And that's it. That was the whole fucking joke. And I just, like... It got to a point where I, like... would forget that her name was actually Daisy, and it would just be like, oh, I'm playing as Wendy, blah, blah, blah. But no, now I love Princess Peach.
Yeah.
I love Princess Peach so much. I've said it in the past in other episodes. When I play video games, I very often pick female characters. It's just how I vibe. It has a better appeal to me.
Yeah.
It probably has a lot to do with my personal gender identity, I imagine. Because it's a perfect escape. You know what I mean? In a way.
There you go.
And I also really do love the color pink. Like, not so much in the sense of, like, in my own personal, like, I don't necessarily want to wear a ton of pink or, like, have my bed be all pink or my room be all pink or anything like that. But I do love pink. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So Princess Peach hits that perfectly.
Yeah.
I love playing as Peach in Mario Kart always.
Cat Peach.
Cat Peach specifically is my go-to. Yes, you know this. And her initial appearance was drawn by Shigeru Miyamoto. And he wanted to make sure it was later redrawn by, and I'm probably mispronouncing this, I apologize, Yoichi Kotaba. And he asked Kotaba, make her eyes a little cat-like. And how she should look stubborn, but a little cute.
Cute.
I love that. In Japan, Peach's name has always been Princess Peach since her debut in the original Super Mario Bros. In 1985.
Wow.
But she was localized as Princess Toadstool in the English language manual.
Oh.
Yeah, the first time that she was finally referred to as Peach was in 1993 in a game called Yoshi's Safari.
That's random.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, so the idea is that, like, her full name is Princess Peach Toadstool.
Okay.
So her last name is like Toadstool, first name is Peach.
Cute.
But yeah, and she just, I mean, obviously she's had a huge amount of popularity over the years and has only gotten more popular and is now like a complete staple character of anything in Mario.
Yeah.
Whether it's like old school games like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf to like the new soccer game that they did, Super Mario Strikers. She's a fucking badass in that game. Yeah. She looks so cool. But yeah, Sci-Fi, the American channel, like the basic the
Sci-Fi channel,
cable, included Peach as one of the quote-unquote greatest video game heroines of all time.
Wow.
It's great, and then also said, it's great to have tough female characters like many of the others on this list, but it's great to have one that embraces the power of being high femme. And I like that a lot. Because sometimes you have a tough female character who's like a badass.
Yeah.
And that kind of falls under like, shout out for Tony, like Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Or like I mentioned earlier, like Jill Valentine from Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And it's not that there's not feminine qualities about them.
Right.
I'm not saying that at all.
But they're tough.
But they're tough and intense and shooting guns and all this shit. And Princess Peach is tough and a badass.
Yeah.
But she's also like super
femme.
Girly. Femme.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's high femme. So it's just like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love everything about Princess Peach. I think she's so fucking cool. I still have not seen the Super Mario movie that has come out. I've heard that Tony and I were talking about it very briefly when you were taking your sweet time at the grocery store.
Yep.
And we talked about how we heard, both of us individually, that they kind of made Princess Peach to be sort of a badass in this particular movie. And I'm looking forward to that. Not to mention, what's her name? Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yes.
Is that her name?
Voices
We both like her a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay. Very
yeah,
good.
it's one of the few voices that I'm down with.
Okay.
In that entire movie.
Yeah.
And I think, what's his name? Keenan? No. Michael Key? It's Keenan and Peele. Is it? No, it's Key and Peele. Michael Key.
Okay.
Michael Keegan Key or something like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know.
I'm so sorry, but
yes.
As if he's listening to this, I'm gonna apologize straight to him. But I think he does a good job with Toad.
Okay.
Everything else is garbage in my. I'm like, and I've even heard recently that Seth Rogen was doing an interview or something like that talking about his casting for that movie. Nintendo reached out to him several times to be like, we really want you to play DK. We really want you to play Donkey Kong, blah, blah, blah. Kept hitting him up. And he responded and was like, guys, I don't do voice acting. Like, voices aren't my thing. If I play Donkey Kong, he's going to sound like Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And they said to him, we don't care. We just want your name on the thing to fill seats.
Wow.
Go fuck yourselves.
Did he play Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
wow.
plays Donkey Kong, and it sounds 1,000,000% like Donkey Kong. When he laughs, it sounds fucking terrible. It doesn't. It's like, and I don't even know what the fuck Donkey Kong's voice would sound like, really, because like.
But it just sounds like Seth Rogen.
It just sounds like Seth Rogen.
Interesting.
And like Jack Black did a decent job, and I'm basing all of this on clips. Jack Black did a decent job during certain parts, but then there's that whole song sequence, which very funny. Ha ha ha. Peach, peaches, 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 peaches. Hilarious, right? You see it on TikTok?
No.
Never mind. It sounds exactly like Jack Black. It's just like kind of silly, and we all know Chris Pratt can't do fucking anything,
I gotta see this
right?
movie.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
But
see it.
also, I'm fucking annoyed that they keep taking movies that
it.
could be so good. And they're so obsessed with just making money instead of making a good product.
Yeah.
That they're willing to sacrifice just for a couple bucks. And I know that the movie did decent in box offices or whatever. And it's probably because it has a huge studded cast, because they can go around and do their little interviews and be funny, because it's fucking Charlie Day and Jack Black and half of Key and Peele crushing it. Black. Of course, they're going to be so funny together in interviews and stuff. And like,
yeah, I get it.
But it just drives me nuts. And you see it more and more every day. And it sucks. Just absolutely sucks that they're willing to do that.
Yeah.
Some actors should never do voiceover.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing themselves.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's my number one, Princess Peach. Sorry to bring it down with how much I hate the way that the Hollywood works.
Well, let's bring it back up.
Bring it back up. Number one. I think I know who it is.
Number one. Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby is everything I love in anything. Pink, small, round, cute. That's what I want my whole life to be.
Yep. Yeah.
He's so freaking adorable. I am him every time for Super Smash Brothers, because I can button smash and stuff happens, and that's what I need.
It's so annoying.
A character
fighting you is so annoying.
It's the only character I can actually do stuff with. I love him so much. This blurb that I was just reading about him is so fascinating, because I didn't know any of this. Kirby was created as the player character for the 1992 game Kirby's Dream Land. So 1992 was his first appearance. The character's design was intended to serve as placeholder graphics for the game's original protagonist, and thus was given a simplistic ball-like appearance.
Yeah.
The creator switched to the placeholder design for the final character because he believed it served the character better. The character was known as Popopo.
Popopo?
Popopo.
Very good.
During development, until the name Kirby was chosen from a list of potential names. Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Man, that man must have had money.
He is fucking crushing life when it comes to video game characters.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if he's still alive, but if he is,
I think he is. Yeah.
He's got money.
He's still alive.
Stated that Kirby was chosen in honor of American lawyer John Kirby, who defended Nintendo in Universal City Studios Inc. versus Nintendo Company Limited case in 1984. And the harsh-sounding name contrasted amusingly with the character's cute appearance.
And
Cute.
And if you look at a picture of John Kirby, he's American.
Yeah.
And he has that kind of... we were looking at it when we were looking at like Pop's old like license or military card or whatever it was, where it says complexion ruddy.
Yeah.
He has that vibe.
He's ruddy.
So he has like a pinkish skin about him, and he was bald. So he
God.
even has like Kirby vibes and the last name. And in that court case, and I don't know this because of the Netflix documentary High Score.
Oh my God.
I know I was going to say this fun fact. You stole my thunder yet again. But the court case was Universal was suing Nintendo for copyright for they thought that Donkey Kong was a ripoff of King Kong.
Oh. Wow.
And John Kirby was able to throw it away.
Yeah. And now he gets the world's cutest character named after him. Who was originally called Popopo.
Originally? Popopo.
Which is also amazing.
Amazing.
I would have been happy with either.
Yeah.
Also, Kirby's home planet is called Planet Popstar. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. He's known for his ability to inhale objects and creatures to gain their powers. He uses these abilities to rescue various lands, including his home world of Planet Popstar, from evil forces.
Amazing.
Yep. His rivals are King DDD. Oh my God. Popopo versus DDD. And Meta Knight. Though Meta Knight can be seen as a hero depending on the game.
Yeah, he has his moments.
Kirby has been described as one of the most legendary video game characters of all time by PC World. In virtually all his appearances, Kirby is depicted as cheerful, innocent, and food-loving. However, he becomes fearless, bold, and clever in the face of danger.
Oh, he's perfect.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's absolutely perfect. Everything about him is perfect. He is my number one favorite video game character of all time.
Yeah,
I love him so much.
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
I do love Kirby. Kirby used to be my favorite on Super Smash Bros. In the original. And then I still love him so much, don't get me wrong. But they got rid of one of his little... It's not even like a power move. It's just like the way he kicked. He had this thing in the original Super Smash Bros. Where if you were in the air and you kicked downwards, not like the brick move, like the just kicking downwards, he did a little spiral kick. And if he hit somebody, they would go and they would go straight down.
Yeah.
So then you could do the thing called edge guarding, where like you throw somebody off the edge, and as they're trying to fly back, you just go float out.
Yeah.
Kick them on the top of the head, and they're like, Choom!
I love it.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then they kind of changed that up, and it was just like, damn it.
Yeah. He's the best. I don't know what else to say.
So much fun. All right. Well, that's our top fives for our things. Now, just for funsies, I know that you're not like a huge video game girly. More so these days than in the past, for sure.
Yeah.
You've definitely gone up 100% in terms of video games. I just went on YouTube and I found some video game noises, and I just want you to tell me which video game franchise. It doesn't even need to be super specific.
Okay.
But just what video game it's from.
Okay.
Or franchise or whatever. Now, keep in mind, the people at home can play this, so don't feel the need to answer immediately.
Okay.
So that the people at home can get a chance to maybe in their cars or if they're at their office, hoping that the stupid employees don't have dumb meetings that can be handled in emails and they can listen to our podcast.
Okay.
Shout out, you know who you are. Okay. I'm going to play some sounds from video games. Okay. Let me make sure my volume's up. Here we go.
Super Mario.
Super Mario Brothers. Do you know more specifically like what in the game that's from?
Is it either when he gets the... It's like either when he comes out of the green tube or when he hits the question mark. I think it's a coin.
Oh, you were so close to saying it. You almost said the word mushroom. And then
it's chose a mushroom?
Not to. Yeah, it's when he gets bigger.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
Okay. All right. Here's another one.
I have no clue.
I didn't know that they were going to be all strung together like that.
What is that?
It's just Link screaming.
Oh.
It's just Link like when he
that.
like swings his sword and stuff and he's like, yeah.
Oh. Nope. Okay.
So I didn't know that it was going to string them together like that. That's really funny. Okay. Here's another.
Nope.
I'll play it one more time.
No clue.
That is getting a gem in Spyro.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So funny. Okay.
That sounds like a baby.
It does sound like a baby.
I don't know what that is.
It does sound like a baby. Hold on, I'll play it one more time for you. It's from a game that you've played on your Switch. Wow, for somebody who made them their number one.
That's Kirby?
That's Kirby saying hi.
When does Kirby say hi?
I guess they're like you can make them look at the camera kind of if there was such a thing as a camera and it can say hi.
Well, all right then.
Here's one you definitely won't know, but this is pure nostalgia. For the record, those are a bunch of sound effects that somebody has linked all together.
Okay.
Crazy sound design. Those are from Earthworm Jim. Okay. One of the weirder video game characters.
Yeah.
Spacesuit and then an earthworm as the head. It's such a fucking weird game.
That's weird.
Yeah. Okay. This one you should...
Oh, Mario Kart?
Yeah. Mario Kart. That one was really easy. I was hoping to find... I was going fast.
Yeah.
I would have liked to do just like the blue shell or something.
Yeah.
And be a little more challenging, but whatever. Round
1. Fight.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, of course. Okay, 2 more.
Okay.
That's hyper specific.
I don't know. It sounds good, like getting a coin or something.
It does sound good.
I don't know what it is.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Pause that. So let that go. All right. I'm gonna skip that one. And I found a better sound.
Okay.
That I will do instead. So still 2 more.
Okay.
Sorry, waiting for the ad to finish. Here we go. Here we go.
Talking? From something?
Mm-hmm. Speaking. From a video game that we've played.
It's from Banjo-Kazooie?
Nope.
I don't know.
Animal Crossing.
Oh. People are probably screaming.
Yeah.
About that one.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, last but not least.
That's from Pokemon.
That is from Pokemon.
Yeah.
It is when you capture a Pokemon.
I love that. All right, I really have to pee.
Fantastic. Well,
this was lovely.
Well, gang, thanks again for listening to another episode of Hessy and Maven. Please remember that we have an email address, hessyandmaven@gmail.com. We have an Instagram, a YouTube, and a TikTok at Hessy and Maven, all one word. And be sure to send us your different suggestions. We love doing this top 5 thing. I definitely want to hear some other suggestions of different things that we can do top 5 episodes about. Also, keep in mind that we're trying to keep our episodes from an hour to an hour and a half. So some things will go by so quickly. We have discovered, like when we did our Disney song episodes, we each did 10, which is 20 things. And we finished all of that in like 45 to 50 minutes. It was incredibly fast. Yeah. So some things aren't as, you'd be surprised. Like, that was such a fun episode, and I love Disney songs, but like, it's crazy how sometimes things, like, you would think that this episode, especially because you picked 2 from video games you've never even played.
Yep.
And still, here we are an hour and a half in. Crazy. But that being said, send us your recommendations. Send us your own top 5s of categories that we've done before. There are a lot of different things. I would love to hear what other people's top 5 video game characters are. You can send that over to our email address over at hessyandmaven@gmail.com. We would love to see it. Also, I do have to say, Raven.
Yes.
Allie was vibing with your most recent like podcast stuff, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least. Although a couple episodes back, she did yell at me for slandering Brock, is how she put it. Because I talked about how Brock falls into that category of like, or that trope of anime where like the guy is a super creep.
Yeah, he can definitely be a super creep.
And what she had said was that he doesn't go too far. Like she made it seem like it was unfair of me to put him in that category because of how crazy some of the other animes are. Yeah. And also, I mean, Allie, let's keep in mind, this is like a children's show, so of course it's not going to go as far as like 7 Deadly Sins or some of those other shows. But
it is a children's show, and I just want to say, oh my god, Tony just sent me a very cute photo of us.
Oh.
Hold on, it's on loop, so I'm just going to show it to you really quick before it goes away.
Oh, so cute.
It is a children's show, and I will say, in an episode I just watched, one of Ash's Pokemon was struggling with his attacks.
Yeah.
And tried to attack Team Rocket, and the attack, like, didn't happen. It was, like, Bullet Seed, and, like, nothing would come out. And James said, oh, well, look at him. He's shooting blanks. And I thought that was an adult joke.
Did you?
Yes.
I mean, guns have blanks, though.
Yeah, but...
that sounds like a you problem.
That is an adult joke.
That sounds like a personal problem, Raven. That does not sound to me like what you're making it out to be.
That is an adult joke.
All right, but let me really quickly just go through her things so fast. Some of these I don't even know.
I have these
or actually, I'll just do the top ones because you have to go to the bathroom really bad.
Okay.
Allie's number 1 ghost Pokemon, Pumpkaboo.
I love it.
And her number 1 grass is Chikorita.
Oh, the Lima Bean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her first 3 of the grass are actually all starters, and they're all the first evolution form.
Wow, okay.
Chikorita, Bulbasaur, Sprigatito.
Okay.
I'm surprised that Bulbasaur beat Chikorita or Sprigatito out.
Wow.
That's very interesting to me. And then she picked Wu Qian, which I think is one of those guys that you unlock with the fucking...
the stakes.
Yeah. It looks like a slug or a snail made of leaves. It's actually... and it looks very furry also. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. So, thanks again for listening to this episode of Hessy and Maven. Please tune in next time where we talk about something else.
Bye.
Bye.